grand opening, grand closing. Family, my fellow gamers, the only friend is YouTube streets, Puerto77, back with another video. Now, check this out. My previous video, my latest video, talks about how PlayStation dominating Xbox. Call of Duty sales primarily was on PlayStation, 82% versus 18% on Xbox. All right, so we covered that. Got to thinking. Recently, we know Microsoft went hard on a media advertising campaign stating this is Xbox, this is Xbox, this is an Xbox, that's an Xbox, a laptop's an Xbox. They are pushing hard to, how would you say, rebrand the term Xbox, which was usually a console-centric brand, and they are finally, I ain't gonna say finally because they always try to, but they're really pushing the marketing hard on Xbox being just a brand of games, but not really a device anymore, right? So I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. We know about the 82% Call of Duty sales primarily on PlayStation versus 18% on Xbox in America, which is huge because this is the strongest region for Xbox. If Xbox has any region that is considered strong, it will be America, right? And for that to be that lopsided to where only 18% of the people bought it on Xbox. Now I get it. I understand. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, of course, Puerto Rock, majority of Xbox gamers are not going to buy it because it's on Game Pass. So of course they're not going to buy it. I already know that, obviously. And this is where I'm getting into. Okay. So with Call of Duty, one of the biggest games that every year is usually a top seller, generally, right? Only few times it's not a top seller of the year is when a Rockstar game comes out, and then last year, Hogwarts just so happened to be the best-selling game in the U.S., right? But that's an anomaly with those type of games. Usually, it's Rockstar is the one that, either Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto usually topples. This year, we might have college football. That might topple it. But usually, at a minimum, if Call of Duty is not the number one selling game, it's number two. Okay? All right. But now check this out. If you got your fan base already at the point where the majority are subscribing and, to games and not buying it, to where now another platform is completely dominating the sales, in this case, PlayStation, 82% versus 18%. At this point, right, you got your consumers that you want. And I think Microsoft is really close to that. And they're nailing this home. Keep up with me. If they got their audience on console to now consume and enjoy games through Game Pass, and that's how they're primarily providing the revenue, then the console is no longer needed because they just need to get that audience to move over to another device that has Game Pass, right? So now hear me out. If Microsoft is now like, man, you know what? We're finally getting the message out. Don't worry about the console. Don't worry about the device. Focus on Game Pass. Focus on the fact that you're playing games through Game Pass. You're subscribing, whatever dollars you are subscribing a month, and you're just enjoying the games. So then at that point, it's no longer about the device. It's about Game Pass. And they're getting closer and closer to sending that message to Xbox gamers, right? This huge disparity and for Call of Duty, which is huge, 82% to 18% is absolutely huge, is showing that majority of the gamers are all about Game Pass, right? Now Microsoft is injecting what an Xbox is, and it's any device. So that way the audience, month after month, over the year or two, three, they're conditioned that Xbox is any device and not specifically a console. So why now? Why is this all making sense? Is because I think Microsoft is getting ready to pull the plug on the console, right? And when they pull the plug, it's not going to be that much of an aftershock because the majority of people are already used to another device being an Xbox, right? And I think that's what Microsoft is doing. Now they're in their stage to get people to be conditioned into don't worry about the Xbox. And it's happening, right? Because with my last video, I'm tweeting it out. People are replying, oh, Puerto Rock, it's not about the console sales no more. So it's already happening. You already have hardcore, and these are the fanboys. Keep in mind, these are the Xbox console warriors that defended Xbox this whole time. They're not defending the console no more. They're defending the fundamental idea of what Microsoft's pushing. So when you got fanboys no longer defending the box and they move down to the strategy, it's working. Because if the fanboys are accepting this, then imagine the casuals and the regular gamers. They're all accepting this scenario of it's not about the box, it's not about the console, it's not about getting the console, right? That way when Microsoft finally does say, hey, we're not creating a next generation standard console, only maybe a few hardcore are going to complain, but the majority is going to be like, that's what PC is for. That's what cloud is for. You know what I'm saying? And it's an easy transition, right? Getting that message through and through and through. Don't worry about the console. Don't worry about the console. And the fanboys are adopting that. They easily. You see them on my timeline. They're defending, trying to talk to me as if I don't understand what Microsoft's doing. It's not about the console sales. That's an old metric. All right? Don't worry about the console, because that's exactly what Microsoft wants from you. They don't want you to defend the console no more. They don't want you to defend it, right? Because the less you defend it, the more people no longer defends the console strategy. The more people that says, hey, console's obsolete, they want you to think like that. They want you, Xbox, to think like that, because when they pull the console off, they don't want you to clap back. They don't want mass hysteria for millions and millions of gamers and outrage. They don't want that. They want acceptance. And the reason why is the console portion of their business is the worst part of their business. It's hemorrhaging money from them. It's a useless device that is constantly in the negative. They don't want to make it. What they want is all those Game Pass players that are currently on console to transition over to a new device that they don't have to actually invest a lot of money into, like PC. You know, PC is just an open market made by Nvidia, Intel, AMD, whoever. They're the ones that put it together. Play on there. Because none of that money is going to come out of their pocket trying to build a PC. They don't do that. Right? Microsoft is not involved in that. So by having those Game Pass players that are currently on console move over to PC, or if they choose to move over to cloud, it relieves Microsoft of the responsibility to invest billions into designing the next generation console and then sell it at a loss. And now they're just stuck with this for another 4 or 5, for another 8 years of generation. They don't want to, I don't think at this point, they really don't want to make it. Now, a year ago or so, Sarabon, they said, hey, we're working on the next most technically involved console and stuff like that. So officially, they said they're making a new console. But words can change. Decisions can change. Whatever project you started can get shut down once the investors realize, wait a minute, it's just not worth making a console. Let's just try to get these Game Pass users over to another device. And how do you do that? You start your advertising. You start letting these users know what's an Xbox. Laptops, handhelds, gaming PCs, right? So now, at first, when I mentioned the video of all the things Microsoft has done, I thought the crappiest move was like putting timed exclusives on PC or exclusives on PC or better deals on PC versus console. Because they don't do anything, right? And at first I thought Microsoft was just stupid. It's just whatever. Now I realize when I was just thinking about this, no, they're brilliant. Giving PCs exclusives is brilliant. Giving PCs timed exclusives as a publisher is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Even with their own titles, putting it on PC first, absolutely brilliant. Because what they're trying to do, I thought it was just them being stupid, but no, it's not them being stupid. I thought Microsoft was just dumb and they don't realize what they're doing. Now I realize, no, they know exactly what they're doing. They want you to look at the box as second class. They want you to be pissed at them for not treating the console the way it should be. I now realize, no, they're sabotaging their own console little by little, not drastically, but they're sabotaging little by little, right? And so that way you could be like, man, Microsoft, if this is how you're going to treat the console, I'm just going to go to PC. And Microsoft's like, good. Yes. Go to PC. That's where we want you. We want you to go, everybody. Oh, you don't like consoles? Oh, yeah. Because the thing is, they're not selling consoles anyway, so they're losing it. You know what I'm saying? It's a zero-sum loss from them. It's trash. Right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get everybody onto PC. So they're going to make PC more attractive than their own console. They're stuck making this console because that's how they started out. They realized this is an L. So the only thing they can do is hopefully not repeat the mistake of making a next generation console for next gen, right? But the only way to do that, they're trying to get all these console gamers that aren't Game Pass over to PC. Get them over to PC. Pretty much, Microsoft is creating the dynamic for refugees. These Xbox refugees going to PC, Microsoft is purposely creating this scenario. Getting you all these Xbox refugees over to PC, because that's what Microsoft wants. Because the more they can get you over to PC, because you're still on Game Pass, and that's where you primarily play your games, so Microsoft's always going to get that revenue, right, from Game Pass. They no longer have to spend billions on consoles. They don't want to spend billions on consoles. Listen, they don't want to spend billions on research and then put a console, a box, in the store shelves, which they sell at a loss, only for most people not to buy it. They know they can't sell consoles. They know that. So they don't really want to make it. They don't really want to make it, okay? And if they could create a new dynamic, a new scenario where they don't have to make the box, they won't. If they could, I mean, they'll take it. They'll take that scenario. But what scenario is this? The scenario is they have to find a way to get more refugees over to PC land. They need one big migrant crisis by the thousand, by the millions, and everybody just, keep going to PC. Come on this way. Open borders, baby. There you go. Just go run through. Flood the PC gates. They want y'all on that PC side, right? The few that remain, the 18%, they're just going to chuck that up as a loss. The few of you that will not leave Xbox, like, no, I play on console and play on PC, well, you're going to have to find another console because Xbox console is done. We're not providing it for the few that are remaining over. We got mostly everyone on cloud and mostly everyone on PC. We got the bulk of the lion's share for that. That's exactly what we want. For the few of you that are diehard console guys, they're going to be like, sorry, can't do nothing for you. The factory's closed. And then the few of you won't have a console. So now the few of you have a choice. Because you won't have an Xbox console. There's no Xbox console. So now these are your options. If you love Xbox, you're going to go get a PC, or you're going to start cloud gaming, or you're just going to leave the Xbox ecosystem altogether and play on PlayStation, Nintendo. Those will ultimately be your options. PC, cloud, PlayStation, Nintendo. You don't have a choice. Or if you're that much of a fanboy, you stop gaming, which is weird, but that just proves how much of a fanboy you guys were. That you were just more corporate slaves than gamers. Instead of adapting and moving on, you just, whatever, right? That's going to ultimately be your choice. So prepare for that. I would advise you, Xbox hardcore gamers, start making a decision now. Don't wait till Microsoft makes the decision for you, because Microsoft's going to do it for their best interest, right? That Xbox console ecosystem is on a red thin line. It's a thin hair away from collapsing. You need to take control of your own destiny and start making a decision now. If you really love Xbox, start saving the money and get ready for that PC. Don't wait until Microsoft drops the bomb on you. Don't wait till one day you wake up and Microsoft says, yeah, we're not doing a console. We're just going to reinforce our PC, cloud strategy, mobile strategy, and all that stuff. But as far as home consoles, and they'll just make up something. It's just, we don't see interest in console. They'll just make up something to damage controller. But no matter what, they're not doing it. And now, last minute, you have to make a new choice that you weren't prepared for. Xbox gamers, listen, if you're an Xbox fanboy, screw you. You're too stupid to realize anyway, okay? But you can still take my advice, but you won't because y'all dumb. But to the Xbox gamers, you really want to start now. Right now is the best time to start figuring out your future. I'm not telling you buy a PlayStation. I'm not telling you that, okay? I'm saying if you really, really like your Xbox ecosystem, you really want to look into PC. And just start investing it there. You get everything from Xbox because Microsoft will shut that down, and you don't want to be stuck, right? Investing in your console, and then all of a sudden, you could have built your library on PC. You could have bought most of your games from here on out on Steam. You could have been done all that. Again, I'm not telling you buy a PlayStation. I'm not saying that at all, right? But in your best investor future, Microsoft's going to drop that box. Listen, they're going to drop that box fast. All they need to do is convince a certain amount of Game Pass players to transition over to PC and cloud. And once they hit that number, if they successfully hit that number, that console's gone. They won't need it. That's the worst part of their business, and they're gonna ditch it. Think about it. They're not gonna be eager like, ooh, let's get ready to invest billions into a new hardware, create the hardware, put it on the shelf at a loss, and nobody buys it. And they kept repeating negative loss of hardware quarter after quarter after quarter for another 8 years. They're not gonna do that. Then they're not gonna want to report that much losses for 8 years. Start strategizing on what's best for you. I get it. Some of you are going to say, well, Phil and Sarah Bond already told us that they're already working on a new console. That doesn't mean that they can't change their mind if the numbers shift in their favor for Game Pass and PC. Today's prices isn't tomorrow's prices. Strategize on what's best for you. The safest bet for an Xbox gamer is PC. You see what they're doing. That's me. Now, if you don't like PC, which I totally understand, you are a console gamer at heart, consider your options right now. Nintendo's definitely, hey, they haven't admitted they're going to announce the Switch 2, so that's already there. So you already know that's coming. And don't listen to anybody telling you there's no PlayStation 6. Don't even bother. That's just absolute asinine. They're just downright asinine. PlayStation 5 is their most successful console ever, and they're just going to keep feeding that. But, hey, you do what's best for you. That's really the important part. Do what's best for you, but think about it now. Don't wait until Microsoft forces you to start thinking about your future, because they're not going to give a damn. When they're ready to pull the plug, they will pull the plug. And if you don't believe me, let's go back to Mixer. You saw how fast they shut Mixer down in the middle of the pandemic, when you had content creators making money off of Mixer, and they were planning to use that to sustain themselves while, we were on lockdown. Microsoft said, nope, sorry. We don't care if the country's on lockdown or the world's on lockdown. Fine making money somewhere else, but we shutting Mixer down today. They didn't even get a warning to transition over to another streaming platform. Microsoft just shut it down. When Microsoft's ready to shut something down, done. Don't let them catch you with your pants down. Make the best decision. But right now, looking at it, the whole this is an Xbox, and then the report coming out, 82% of Call of Duty sales was on PlayStation. You put two and two together. Microsoft's really pushing for you to get out of the Xbox console. They really are pushing hard. They're doing it for a reason. They don't want to make that box. They don't want to continue to report losses quarter after quarter for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. They're done with that. They're going to get those Game Pass gamers out of the Xbox console, right? And any new Game Pass gamers, they want them to go on the PC platform, cloud platform. They don't want to grow that console already. They know they can. Anyway, you do what's best for you. With that, your only friend is YouTube Streets Porterox77. Thank you for checking out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Stick around. Get more videos from me. Check out my podcast, 60 Frames No Lag Podcast, 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday. Anyway, I am out of here. You guys take care. Enjoy your weekend. You guys and gals, enjoy your weekend. Peace. Grand opening.